Here we are in downtown Sturgis, South Dakota, and today we're going to go see the chief,
Jody Vanderwater,
right here in Sturgis, and we're going to try to answer some of the questions this year to help you get through the rally and have less issues.
There you go. So let's stay tuned and go talk to the chief, see what he has to say.
Let's go.
Jody Vanderwater, we're in Sturgis, and I'm the chief of police here in Sturgis.
And what do we got coming up in a couple weeks?
We have the 84th rally coming up here in about 3 weeks.
What's some of the things you do to get ready for the rally, as from the police side?
So we start early in the year, start hiring staff and working to get our staff positions filled, as well as working with the city, state, and also our federal partners, trying to make sure that logistically everything's set up and safe to go. We try to have a bunch of meetings, be transparent as we can with the downtown businesses, so that they know what to expect when it comes to the police departments, and also the city of Sturgis, of when it comes to towing vehicles, shutting the streets down, and also cleaning the streets and taking trash out. So.
Is there anything new? I know last year we had a few side streets that got kind of like a little less parking because of fire lanes had to be open more. Is there anything else going to be changing this year?
That wasn't a change. That's been that way forever. There's always been a fire lane on them streets, but there's still be a fire lane, but there's going to be a change on Harley-Davidson Way. That used to be a thoroughfare where cars could travel, get through there from one side of town to the other. This year, with a bunch of different events and stuff going on downtown, that will be shut down, and First Street is going to be the intersection, or the street to get through. Northbound traffic will have no parking, and it'll be a fire lane, but you can still get through. And then our southbound traffic on First Street will be motorcycle parking only. When
are you shutting the streets down for motorcycle parking?
So Thursday night, Friday morning, which is August 2nd, 2 a.m., as soon as the bars close early Friday morning, we will be towing all the vehicles off the streets. Public Works will come in with their crews, cleaning the roads, getting them ready, and they'll set up the barricades, and they'll be closed from then until Monday morning after the rally. So.
Cannabis laws changed any?
No.
So from what we had before was you could have a medical, you had to have it in a bottle, the prescription bottle that comes with.
Yes, you have to have a medical card. So you have to be able to prove that you have a medical card. You cannot consume it in a vehicle. You cannot consume it in a public place. But yeah, as long as you have a medical, state-issued medical card, you're allowed to possess marijuana. So this will be probably about the probably 5th year that they've done open container. Be the same as the years past, the same footprint with the boundaries of downtown corridor. It's from 10 a.m. till 2 a.m. It's beer and wine only, and it's in the event cup, so it's only in one of these cups. So if you're in a red Solo cup, you're in a glass cup or something other than the event cup, you're in violation of city ordinance. And also, if you have the whiskey, any distilled spirits in a cup, that's a violation. So you're not allowed to leave any of the establishments, and we're working great with the establishments, trying to combat people leaving, but we also need to have some personal responsibility by those attending. It'd be great if they heed to our warnings and make sure they have this cup full of beer when they decide to go for a walk, and not take the beer bottle or the whiskey.
And can you use the cup from previous years?
Yes. We're not going to get that picky. If you want to save some money, bring your cup.
What do we have in the way of, in the past years, of bikes being stolen?
So, knock on wood, we probably about 98% of our stolen vehicles and motorcycles, cars during the rally are people forgetting where they park. So, not to jinx ourselves, we don't want that. There's still a concern. If you park your bike, it's a good idea to take a picture, maybe where you parked it at. So if you're not from Sturgis, Sturgis is a small community, but if you've never been here, all the blocks look the same when you put thousands of bikes on there. So take a picture of where your bike's at in front of the business downtown or in front of a street sign. That way you have it to refer back to. You'll see a lot of people do that at the Mall of America because they're parking in different levels, so they know, hey, where did I park? Make sure your vehicle's locked up. Don't leave your keys in the ignitions. Let's make sure saddlebags are locked up or your vehicle's locked up. and keep valuables hidden. If they're seen, they're easy to snatch and grab. So, you know, you'll see a lot of people with their leathers hanging out. And I'd like to say Sturgis is relatively safe, but there is a small element that come here with the criminal mindset. Everything from downtown corridor and Main Street is motorcycle parking only. And I tell people, if you have to ask, don't park. We try to, and that's to keep our motorcycles so they're able to park downtown. If you have a car, an RV, a truck, you're going to want to make sure that you know where you're parking, because the toll bill gets pretty expensive. If you park in a motorcycle only parking, if you park in the handicap, it will get ticketed and tolled by our local toll companies, and some of these private lots. So if you want, the safest thing is to pay the $5 to $10 to a local charity and park in their private lots. They will keep your vehicle safe. But make sure that you park along, if you park along a street, make sure that you're not blocking sidewalks, you're not blocking the driveways, you're not parked in the yellow, because they will get ticketed and tolled. When it comes to the vehicles, let's make sure you're in a spot, because if you're not, you'll get tolled. So Dakota Mart, so private property, that's up to the owners. We don't have anything to do with that. We get a lot of ridicule for it, but unfortunately they have a right to tow if they want. You have a right, if something's on your property and you don't want it there, you have a right, whether you're a business or a private owner. So yeah, I do know that Lynn's Dakota Mart does that. They have signs posted. They got big 6x8 signs posted that says customers only, and within an hour, because most people should be able to get their shopping done within an hour. And they have security staff, they have spotters that are watching, and if you are there longer, it will get tolled. Unfortunately, the tow companies are private entities, so they're out making a living too, and so the toll bills can get pretty expensive depending on what kind of vehicle you have. A lot of people come to Sturgis with the idea that there's no rules and regulations. Sometimes they leave their common sense at home. They're here for a good time, so they don't think about the courteousness. And it's this thing that, you know, it's going to go back to your some of your core values. Be respectful of others. You know, if you're driving along, make sure you're stopping at stop signs. Make sure you're yielding to pedestrians crossing the streets. Make sure you're not passing cars in the residentials, and be mindful, you know, of the citizens that are here. They live here year round, so if you're blocking their driveways, if you're cutting them off, let's just be respectful. We're all human. We all want to have a good time. We all want to enjoy the events going on in Sturgis, and I just think go back to some of your core values of being a good person. Be respectful. Thank you. Sorry. You know, if you made a mistake, apologize and move on. Life goes on, you know. There's no harm, no foul there. What we suggest is, if you're going to decide to drink, leave the bike at the campsite. Leave it at your Airbnb. Leave it at your motel. There's a lot of rideshare programs. We have the bus services that go to every single campground. The city has relaxed some of their rideshare programs now, so you'll be seeing some more Lyft and Uber potentially in the area, and private entities trying to make a little bit of buck during the rally with giving rides. So take advantage of them programs. Leave your bike or your car at home so that you don't have to. But if for some reason you do drive your bike down on Main Street, you've had too much to drink, do not drive. You will go to jail. Or worse yet, you may kill yourself or someone else. And that's the other thing. If you drink, don't drive. We've had people that have come up to us and asked us, hey, where to go. A lot of times you get a couple blocks away from downtown corridor, you can park your bike on the street. We've allowed people to walk their bike. They can't be driving it, of course, because they're intoxicated, or they can find another sober driver to get their bike off there. But have a plan in place, because if it doesn't get moved, it will get towed, and it's expensive. And we don't do that to be jerks. We do that because our public works crews, at 2 o'clock, they start cleaning downtown so that they can get it looking nice. Most people don't want to come here and see trash all over downtown, and so they do a great job at night picking up the trash, washing down the streets, washing down the sidewalks, so we don't get all that scum that you have to walk through during the day, you know, and you can enjoy it downtown Sturgis without it stinking and kicking your way through trash. So you can't be in possession of a loaded firearm while intoxicated. A lot of our businesses, if it derives more than 50% of alcohol sales, you're not allowed to possess a firearm inside that establishment. So kind of going with the driving with while intoxicated. If you're going to drink, leave the gun at home. You're not going to be able to get into any of these establishments during the rally because they're all primarily alcohol sales. You know, there is some food sales, but the majority of their business is derived from the alcohol sales. So technically, you cannot possess a firearm in these the buildings in these bars and establishments. So I would lock it up in your bike or your vehicle, or keep it somewhere else. If you're going to drink, you don't need to have that, because poor decisions could come and you could regret those decisions should you get into a scuffle and you make a wrong choice while you're carrying the gun and intoxicated.
When does the speed limits all change?
So those are mandated by the state of South Dakota. City of Sturgis doesn't change any of our speed limits. It's the Department of Transportation. They change the state highways. So those will go into effect on Thursday before the rally. So what is that, August 1st? And we'll see going out towards the Buffalo Chip, it's going to go from 45 miles an hour to 35 miles an hour. When you turn and head up towards full throttle, it's going to be, I believe it goes from 65 down to 45. And then when you get up into the area of full throttle, it may slow down even more there, so that people aren't coming in too hot on a highway, and we have a lot of traffic entering and exiting from full throttle. And then going up through Deadwood, Boulder Canyon, that'll be 45, I believe, as well.
Seems like a lot of people get pulled over more there. To me, it seems like, because it seems like everybody's patrolling there now. You've got the city, you've got the county, and the state's all out there.
No more law enforcement. It's just, and the reason you see it out there is because people aren't heeding to the traffic speed limit signs. You know, the reason we have it so slow is because there's a lot of traffic coming and going out there for the events at the Chip. They're also at the Thunderdome coming, and we've had issues with the full throttle there, and even since then with the campground there now is we have a lot of pedestrian crossing. You know, they'll go over to the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome may have some events going on, or they may be going to make some purchases at Kickstart. So there's a lot of traffic there. So there's no more law enforcement, and you know, we are out there enforcing traffic laws. We're not out there picking on you. You're making the decision to speed, you're going to get stopped. You're making a decision to drink and drive, you're going to get stopped. Use good common sense, and if you're going to speed, if you're going to drive, make sure you're doing the speed limit. If you're going to drink, make sure you don't drive. We got to take some ownership.
Do random checks on bikes for alcohol?
No.
Okay.
That was in random checks. What do you mean?
Well, we had somebody last year told me that they pulled out of the Iron Horse, and the police officer pulled 3 bikes over before they even got mainly on. They just made their left-hand turn and pulled them over instantly and checked them.
Probably because they've violated state law. They probably didn't have eye protection. They probably failed to yield the right of way, or they probably did something wrong. I can guarantee you, there was a violation there. We don't have the rights. We're not going to violate people's rights just to stop you, just to make sure. I got to have a reason to stop you, and we're professionals, and we're not going to lower that professionalism to violate your rights. So, like I said, at the end of the day, if you're going to drink, don't drive. Don't bring unwanted attention to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, that person probably didn't realize that the motorcycles violate law. Perfect example, you leave the Iron Horse, that's an alleyway going on the roadway. You have to yield the right of way. You can't just take off, so that could have been the issue. It's hard, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I will guarantee you there was some kind of a law violated. We talk about this every year. You guys get comments, we get comments, social media gets comments going, hey, I've been told both feet. It's a good practice going both feet because you know you're stopping. We also know that if you're a trained motorcycle rider, you know that both feet down is inapplicable. You know, you put your left foot down, your right foot's always on the rear brake. That's how we're trained to ride. What we tell you is come to a complete stop. Some people are great at balancing, and they can probably come to a complete stop for 2 or 3 seconds with no feet, but very few of us can do that. We're seeing more and more motorcycles, more and more cars. Everybody's in a hurry. So we do the California stops or the rolling stops. That's what's going to get you jammed up. Stop, put your foot down, take a breath, take a look, make sure it's clear. The other thing, you know, that's the other thing. And it's a safety thing. You know, if you're not coming to complete stop, you have to yield the right of way at this 4-way intersection. And if you don't, that other car may have the right of way. You know, if you don't take that extra second to come to a complete stop, you may get hit by them or you may hit them. And we have accidents, we get people hurt, and we've had people die in the city limits of Sturgis for failing to abide by minor traffic rules, which is stop signs, speeding. So yeah, we encourage them to stop. So come do a complete stop, put 1 foot down, look, make sure it's clear, because some other jackwagon might be coming along and running stop sign like you were gonna. So exhibition driving, yeah, that's a no-go. That's gonna bring, again, you want to be here, have a good time. You don't want to bring unwanted attention to yourself. Obey the laws. If you do some dumb antics like that, you're going to bring unwanted attention. Will you get a ticket? Don't know. I don't tell my officers when to arrest, when not to arrest. They have the availability, and it's an officer discretion. Unless it's a serious offense, they have officer discretion. So they may give you a warning, they may write you a ticket, or you could end up in jail. So that's the other thing. We have a pay or stay for all city ordinances and state laws here. So if you're not a local and you're stopped and you're given a ticket for something, you may be required to pay. It's not us trying to take a kick, it's us taking the money, paying the clerk of courts, and then you can go about your way. Otherwise, we can hold you in jail until you make bond. That's so that the state of South Dakota gets their fees. The state of South Dakota, our schools, a lot of that money goes to the schools, but you can still, just because you paid doesn't mean you're guilty. You can come to court the next day and you can contest that. So yeah. Sunday, the race.
There you go. I forgot about
So this year, the city of Sturgis is working with the American Flat Trackers. They are putting on a downtown race on the last Sunday of the rally. It's going to consist of one city block down on the main thoroughfare here of 2nd and 3rd Streets. It's going to be televised by Fox, not live, but it's going to be televised by Fox, and it'll air like 2 weeks later, I think, is if I remember correctly. That's going to have an impact on our attendances for Sunday. Will there be people coming or not? We don't know. So we're hoping that people will come. This has been something that the American Flat Trackers, some of the downtown businesses, the city of Sturgis, everybody's looked at for the last few years, the last couple of days of the rally, is a drop in attendance, a drop in sales tax, a drop in just even making any money. So everybody's trying to find ways to have people come and visit. So this year they have the race that's going to, not sure how it's going to impact it. So it's new. It's Sunday. Sunday traditionally is the main streets are open to all vehicular traffic. This year it'll still be shut down to only motorcycle traffic, with the race is right in the middle, so you won't be able to get through. You're gonna have to go around. But we also want to make sure the word gets out, because if you're a vendor, it may impact you if you're trying to leave Sunday. That will impact you, that you may not be able to get your stuff out until Sunday night, Monday morning. So we would like to encourage the vendors to stay an extra day, and just hopefully we'll bring in some people for the race. The city trying to do different rides. They do rides with locals. They hit me up about a ride. Unfortunately, I'm usually pretty busy during the rally. So yeah, the 3rd year, and in fact, not tooting our horn, but it's one of the bigger rides with locals that we have. The 1st year, I think we're up close to record numbers this year of close to 50. And so it's a good time. You get to come ride with me, which I don't know who wants to spend time with me. I get a lot of my staff members. I think they come just for the ride. They don't come to deal with me or hang out with me, but we get a lot of our friends and family that come ride with us. A lot of other law enforcement, firefighters, and just tourists that are in town that want to come hang out with us. We take them on a nice little ride up through the hills and then come back, and the city gives them a nice little lunch. It's a short day, but it's a fun day. Wednesday, we leave kickstands up, I think 9 a.m. from the tennis courts there behind the community center. This year we've had to change our route a little bit because of construction going on 385, but we're going to stop and see a couple famous people. Our hopes is to stop and partake in some lemonade with the Wyatt's Lemonade on the way back, and so that'd be a good time. Been talking with them to make sure they know we're going to come. So we're going to give them some details as we get closer. But yeah, we're going to go for a nice little ride. Maybe some of the roads you may have been on, may not have been on, and maybe get to see a site you've seen before, or maybe you've never been in some of these roads. So it's a fun time. Like I said, just get to hang out. So yeah, I want to welcome everybody out to Sturgis Rally. Like you hear me say all the time, if you drink, don't drive. If you see something, say something. And for all those that don't like me, see me smile or complain that I never smile, here's my smile. Enjoy it, have a good time, and be safe.
We want to thank
Chief Jody Vanderwater.
for giving us all this great information, taking the time out to give you guys some of the stuff you need to know. And we try to hit some of those highlights and some of the questions that we get throughout the year, and just to kind of let you know. And I think he did a really good job this year, and nothing special. But we try to get most of the questions answered, and hopefully they did. And if you have any other questions that you'd like to know, you can come down here in the comments, write it, because we see the chief throughout the rally and before the rally. And we're also going to get the interview with the chiefs. They're going to be bringing in a police dog. Canine unit this year. And I think he's here every year. So we're going to be talking to that officer and talking to the dog. We'll find out what his name is. I don't know what his name was. Didn't ask.
No, I guess we didn't ask.
So that's
but
kind
the
of
chief's a really great guy, and he even gave you there a little smile to show you that he
That's
wasn't
right.
such a hard.
He's just very serious. He's a really nice guy.
He takes his job serious. He wants everybody to have a good time, but he wants to also make sure you're safe.
That's right. So then once again, our hats off. We want to thank him again, because I think this is our 4th year that we've been doing this with him.
I think so.
And we're actually going to be going on that police ride with him. We're riding with the chief. It's on July 31st. You can go to the Sturgis, it's the City of Sturgis Facebook page, and you can register to join if it's not booked up yet, if you're here early. It's right there it's the Wednesday before the rally starts, July 31st. So, hey, we'll see you there if you want to come along with us and ride with the chief.
There you go. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you got a lot of great information. Give all the police officers that come down here to help us keep us safe, give them a pat on the back when you see them, or a hi, or a thank you. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.